Jeez.
It is week 6 in the Pokemon Battle League. I had a good run these past 2 weeks. This is Coach Amber, by the way. And Coach Evan's here too.
Yes, this is Coach Evan of the Saffron City Sneasels speaking. And that first noise you heard was an obnoxious slurping of coffee. Amber's also insisting on eating a bagel on mic, which is, quality audio. So if you're really into ASMR, this is probably right up your alley. I think you're too.
I don't think that picked up.
Yeah, it was too quiet but you.
All right, let's get right into this. This was a great battle for me, guys. I did so well. He started with Tapu Koko, and I started with Smeargle. I finally brought Smeargle this week. My plan was to Sticky Web. I had a Focus Sash so I could, survive one hit. And this Taunt.
See, I'm no chump though, so I see her team on Team Select, and I see, Smeargle. You're obviously going to lead with Smeargle because everybody leads with Smeargle. So I'm going to lead with Tapu Koko, Taunt, and then you turn out of there to break the Focus Sash. Because, there's pretty much like one main Smeargle set.
It was basically game over at this point, but I didn't want to actually give up, so...
It wasn't game over at all.
We just,
There's this trend that some people have, and you're one of those people in the league, where
I know what you're talking about.
You get this kind of defeatist thing, especially when you're battling somebody like me or Jacob of the Stantlers. And I think that kind of shoots yourself in your foot there. Because we're not unbeatable, but I think people kind of intimidate themselves before the match.
I just had this whole plan, and it was going to work out perfectly, and I don't know why I did not anticipate a Taunt, even though I bring Toxic Hex every week. I don't know what I was thinking.
I've also been on record saying that I despise stall teams. I think it is one of the most sinister and cruel things you could do to a friend. I mean, because this is a league of people that know each other. We aren't strangers battling on Showdown. I know you in real life, and to stall somebody in real life, that's harsh.
Wait, hold on. Do we know each other?
We're on an acquaintance level, I'd say. We are
Interesting.
We are familiar.
See, also, I thought you were gonna stall me. I thought you were gonna outstall me.
No, I just built anti-stall. I had tons of checks. I had the Taunt on the Koko. I got this Rage Quit over here. This guy has, he didn't even need to use it this week because I played around status, but he had Heal Bell. So even if you started statusing me, it wouldn't have mattered. And then I also had Defog on Latias, which you'll see later in the match is used numerous times.
Lots and lots and lots of times. Because I wanted those Toxic Spikes up. I don't know when I do that, but I tried getting Toxic Spikes up.
I wasn't going to allow that. This Poison Jab here did catch me off guard. I didn't expect the Poison coverage move, although I probably should have because I do run 2 fairies on my team.
Yeah, I was trying to not reveal my coverage moves on my Pokemon too early. But it did not even do as much as I would have hoped.
Because I saw the Giga Drain, and then I was expecting something more along the lines of a Hidden Power Fire for Ferrothorn, and then maybe a knockoff Earthquake combination or something.
I had a fire move on Hydreigon because I was convinced he would bring Donzon.
Oh, yes. I considered it, because I did toy around with the idea of stalling you back, but I decided my team counters yours very well, so I don't need to go through that whole thing.
Anyway, so to actually commentate the battle, I guess. I think I switch out here, because I know I have that Regenerator, that awesomeness. And the thing that I ran into is that any of my answers to any of his Pokemon were still going to be faster than mine. So it was a very big struggle for me, and that's why I wanted the Sticky Web up. Even though, he would have defogged it eventually, but at least I would have been faster for a little bit.
I definitely do have a speedy team. I always do prioritize speed. And I try to play around Trick Room as well, because I do know that your team has some Trick Room capabilities.
Yeah, with Stack Attack, I believe.
Yeah.
But I didn't even bring him this week.
But I got the Ferrothorn, who's always a nice slow anchor. And he's been having a slower season, but he has a pretty good showing here. He gets some rocks up for us. It's also, he's got a great matchup against No Boy Allowed, because there's nothing we can really do to each other, but eventually I'll win because I get Leech Seed, and you cannot poison me.
Yeah, but I can recover.
Yeah, but I will just recover too. I mean, this matchup, it's a slow one that basically it'll be a standstill, but I think I would have a slight edge in the end. So you switch out here. I think because you kind of recognize that I do have that advantage here.
Yeah, and
But
you obviously are going to withdraw because it's common to run a fire move on Hydreigon.
Yeah. And I bring out the Rage Quit because times 4 fairy, and I can survive anything you can hit with me because I am a max special defense, max HP. And you switch out fearing the fairy move, I assume, and I play it safe early in the match. I just go for the Dazzling Gleam in case you had like Z Belch for like a poison move to catch me off guard.
Right.
So yeah, that does very little, but I'm actually okay with that because whenever this guy comes in, I get free switches because I can answer Toxapex really well. If I see Toxapex, I can go Coco, or I can go Latias.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost feel like maybe I should not have even brought Toxapex this week just because, like, you have so many answers to Toxapex, but I don't know. Oh my god, I thought I caught you so nicely off guard there with that Ice Beam, and it just did literally nothing.
If that was Zygarde, that might have been about half.
Only half, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toxapex is, like, not an attacker at all. That's, like, the one downside, but so many plus sides, it's not even a big deal.
So I see that with your Gardevoir this week, you did not run Trace. Is there a reason for that?
Like, all your abilities were not, like, super, like, I don't know, nothing really stuck out to me for me to want to
That's fair.
Trace. And I thought you were gonna be, like, more status inflicting.
Yeah,
so I figured, like,
Synchronize would make sense.
Yeah.
That's a fair choice.
You do have, what's that guy's name? Rotom Heat.
Rotom Heat,
And I thought you would be trying to, Will-O-Wisp because I have really, like, high attackers. I thought you would be trying to Paralyze with Tapu Koko. So I wanted to synchronize, but it ended up not, like, you didn't go for any kind of statuses.
No. I did run Toxic on Zygarde.
That's
which,
right, you did.
Was specifically for Shaboy, who I ended up Toxic, and Curly Perm. Yeah, Tinker. So this Focus Blast was pretty good. I knew it was a possibility to run it, but it was more scouting with the first hit that I took on Ferrothorn. I wanted to see if you had it, and then once I did, I was like, okay, I need to preserve him later because I need to make sure I can get a free switch on a Greninja and be able to one-shot with Power Whip. I ended up not having to do that this match, but that was the motivation for keeping Ferrothorn alive at about a little less than half.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this whole battle is really just switching. And I couldn't keep up on his switches because he would switch up who he would switch in as counters to my Pokemon because he had so many different answers to so many different of my Pokemon. So it was really hard to keep up with.
So like I was saying before, when it comes to Toxapex, I get these free switches where I can bring out a hard hitter like Coco, and this is a classic fork move here where you have to either take the hit or switch, and you know that you don't have any ground types on this team, so I'm going to hit something really, really hard. So I can threaten with a U-turn, or I can just click the hardest hitting move, and I went for the hardest hitting move because I expected the Tangrowth, and that's what came out. And this was the only thing that was going to be able to kill the Tangrowth. I don't think a U-turn would do it from that.
No, because I definitely had it calced out, because I didn't, like, I knew you had the advantage, but I didn't want to, like, lose anything if I switched something in, because I didn't have enough momentum to, like, I didn't have enough speed to gain momentum on letting something die. So I kept calcing things to make sure if I brought something in, it would survive.
I was also okay with just hitting the Z move and then blowing up the Toxapex, because it would have one-shot anyway with Wild Charge, but I didn't want to take the recoil because I needed to make sure I could survive a Water Shuriken from Greninja. So that's another reason why I went with the Z move instead of just the simple click. So now we get this repeat matchup again.
Yup.
Oh, we can't both reach for our coffee at the same time. We both have coffee, and it's important for one of us to be on mic. So we're going to have to be better.
No, I just think a little coffee break right now. Let's go.
Alright, yeah, sure.
Ooh, those toxic spikes.
Yeah.
On the defog Pokemon.
Yeah, and because I have a clear advantage here because I'm a Psychic type, I'm in no rush. I can defog, My only worry would be you switching in Hydreigon, but I figured that me being a dragon type, you would need to show off some mighty big stones to pull that off. And I didn't think that your play style would be one that would be that aggressive. So I felt comfortable enough just taking my time, defogging, and then once I was nice and safe, I would throw out the psychics.
Yeah, I also, if I would have choice scarfed Hydreigon this week, I would have been a little more aggressive bringing Hydreigon in versus Latias, but you would have outsped me.
Yes, I was expecting the choice scarf on the Hydreigon after I saw there was no choice scarf on Gardevoir. And because my team is very fast, I usually try to figure out, okay, who's the scarf user, and if it wasn't Gardevoir, I figured it would be Hydreigon, but I don't think you had a scarf user this week. You were relying more on the sticky web.
I was.
Which is valid, like a good strategy. It's just, taunt.
Need more options next time.
Oh, but there isn't going to be a next time. There could be playoffs. So there might be a next time. So I'm bringing out the Rage Quit again because I can take anything you throw at me. I believe you already did show a Thunderbolt, but a Thunderbolt I'm pretty sure does less than half to this guy. Because he's a big happy bird, and this bird doesn't mind getting hurt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go super down in the rankings this week. Not very fun. Oh, and this made me know that you were running Serene Grace.
Yeah, Serene Grace is the go-to move. You can run Super Luck, but Serene Grace is so good because Air Slash is the best flying move this thing gets anyway, so you might as well get a 60% chance on the flinch. So this week's going to have quite a bit of flinching because I know in another battle, Mike does quite a bit of flinching with his Jirachi. So out comes the Eraser Head, and
I don't know what I was thinking.
I'm guessing you were trying to go for an Ice Beam one-shot.
I was.
But I knew it wouldn't one-shot, but without Battle Bond. And it does a good amount. It does probably about half.
Yeah, I feel like I got a low dice roll because it was saying, I don't know, it was saying like 60 to 67% on the calculator, which still probably would not have even one shot. But if I would have gotten a crit or something, I just felt like I was running out of options.
Yeah, I mean at this point, yeah, you got quite a few of your guys down. Maybe this would have been a chance for you to try to bring out Smeargle. But you didn't, because I think Smeargle might have outsped Togekiss. I don't know Smeargle's speed, but I know that once I taunted the Smeargle and hit it with a U-turn, it kind of became irrelevant in your eyes, but I maybe would have looked for another opportunity to get him going.
Yeah, that's definitely, but then, I don't know, I just, like, forgot everything I know, and I was like, well, taunt, I can never use any of the moves in Smeargle ever again. Because but I don't know, does it reset?
It does, yeah. When you switch
in?
yeah.
Okay.
It also just goes away after 3 turns, if you stay in.
Yeah, but I didn't stay in.
Yeah.
So I felt like I couldn't even bring them out again.
Yeah, in general, almost all timers, I think all timers reset. The only one I'm not entirely sure about is Rest. I think that one resets too, though, but I'm honestly not sure. So here comes the Wild Charger's cleaning up on Bob Ross, because you're kind of out of options at this point, so it's more just... at this point, I just want to ensure that I don't lose a Pokemon carelessly. I don't need to take an unnecessary hit, so I go for the U-turn, just get on out of here. By this point, I figure it's not Scarf, because if it was Scarf, you would have used him earlier.
Yeah.
And then I felt very confident that you wouldn't use a Dark or a Dragon move against a Fairy type, so I switch in the Rocket. I actually wasn't even like specifically trying to read for an Earth Power. I just figured whatever you got, you're not going to use one of your 2 stab moves, so I'll get this free switch in Hot Speed.
Yeah, I really thought about just going for my Z move. I had Z Dark move on there this week, and I didn't, and I probably just should have. Maybe, like, since you switched out, it might have done like decent.
Oh, it would have one-shot Latias for sure. I don't know if it would have one-shot Coco. It probably would have, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Coco's defenses are not as bad as you might think for someone who's really fast and hits pretty hard. He's got like base 80 special defense or base 80 defense or something. He's like 70s and 80s. It's you wouldn't call him good, but he's not as frail as like Greninja or something. So yeah, Latias finishes the job, has a great game for me, and I do seal the deal 6-0.
Yep, 6-0. Didn't even get one Pokemon.
Yeah, I know. I'm on the couch. Whoa.
Ew, what? Gross.
Okay, good.
Anyway, yeah. So look for the Lavender Lillipups at the bottom of the
standings.
this
And look for
week.
the Sneasels at the opposite of bottom of the standings. That's the word. Yes, standings.
All right, guys. I'm pretty sure I battle Cheryl next week, so stay tuned for that.
And I don't know who I battle, but I'm sure it'll be a fun one.
Bye.
Bye.